It is top v bottom, haves against most definitely have-nots. Yet for Jurgen Klopp, a visit to Huddersfield is an unswept minefield. Not only will the Liverpool manager face the man who knows him best in the whole of football, he will also travel to Yorkshire on Saturday knowing there is a remarkable statistic that suggests David Wagner's team will be far more formidable than everyone assumes. Since Klopp arrived at Anfield, his team has lost 5 of their 9 away Premier League games starting the day in the relegation zone, and in fact, have won none of their last 6. You have to go back to his first season, in February 2016, for the last time they won against a bottom 3 side. A 6-0 victory at Aston Villa. Klopp himself can't quite believe that stat. He shrugged as he considers it, and then joked with a huge grin, "Can we put an embargo on these stats because we don't want the boys reading these before we go to Huddersfield?" It highlights perhaps the biggest challenge facing the German coach if his team are to be genuine contenders to lift the title. They often outplay the top clubs, but frequently disappoint against lower Premier League opponents. The Reds boss believes it is not a psychological problem, but merely a quirk of statistics. When that impressive win at Villa is mentioned, he replied, "The last time, that was my first season? Let's take it as an example, shall we? I don't know why, it happens. I don't feel anything with it, I wouldn't have known about it if you hadn't told me. I remember the West Brom game last year, which was a game which you win on 9 of 10 occasions. That day we didn't. And, I don't know who we played last time? Swansea? They were good, they didn't play like a bottom team that night. They were really good, in a really good moment." For Klopp, it simply sometimes happens. And he knows it could easily happen at Huddersfield, who he believes are far better than their lowly position at the bottom, and their lack of resources compared to the big boys suggests. I use the word trap. If you look at the table and see one team 20th, 3 points, you say it's a clear situation. But it isn't. I speak a lot to Dave, not this week, obviously. And I know the atmosphere in the club is still brilliant, he explained. I know it's difficult for people who don't watch the games to realize that. They see a team has 3 points and have lost most of the games, then they talk about quality. But our analyst came in and said, they are much stronger than you would imagine. I told my players they have to be ready for a really tough game because they are actually in good shape. Robbie Savage's Premier League predictions, Chelsea to beat Man United, says BT Sport host Klopp will at least have most of his players fit, with only Naby Keita ruled out with a hamstring, while Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Sadio Mane and James Milner are all available. So too is Adam Lallana, after almost a year of injury, and the manager believes that can be huge. I love him as a player and as a person, his style is always full of desire and confidence. Having a setback wasn't nice and now we need to get used to it. There is not a perfect plan for it. We have to make sure that he trusts his body. I can trust his body. It's a bit like Daniel Sturridge. In the moment when it's right and you forget about it immediately.